Here we got
And
Benny and OJ. Oh, go on, Rich.
Benny,
Sorry.
I was going to say, and for those of you who are seeing the Evo Mega Knight here, and you're going, oh my gosh, the Mega Knight already frustrated me enough, and now I have to deal with the Evo Mega Knight. We just saw that the Evo Goblin Cage can counter Evo Mega Knight. So if you're in a part of the game where you see Mega Knight every other second, and you're anticipating seeing more of it, go use your in the shop, right, where you're able to get shards. Go ahead, collect those shards, and get your Evo Goblin Cage ready and unlocked so that you have a phenomenal counter for Evo Mega Knight ready to go.
And just to reiterate, Evo Mega Knight is coming out tomorrow, and the way to get it is that there's going to be a 10-day long event. Each day you're going to have milestones to complete, and each day that you complete a milestone, you'll get a Mega Knight Evo shard. That means if you complete those milestones 6 out of the 10 days of the event, you're going to get the Mega Knight Evo for free. That's right, a free evolution, and we're talking about the first legendary card to receive an evolution. So this is going to be a really fun event. I can't wait to start playing tomorrow. I'm going to play the first 6 days in a row, get that Mega Knight right away, so I can take him right onto the ladder and get as many of those wins as I can. Oh, and Expo locks onto the tower!
My word.
Great zap, had the zap there.
Yeah. We are seeing things I did not anticipate today.
Oh.
Ooh, look at that.
Ooh, amazing,
I mean,
but Expo's still going.
Yeah, and you were talking about the time when Mortar was the most evil card on the planet. If there's one evolution, oh my gosh.
Oh, Pekka.
Will it?
Wow, that was a lot of elixir that OJ needed to spend to defend against that Pekka. As you mentioned earlier, Evo Pekka, every time Evo Pekka defeats a troop, removes something from the battlefield, starts a very powerful healing effect. When you have as much hit points as Pekka does, even a 10% heal can be devastating. And just right there, 2-3 heals in a row put Pekka as a threat to OJ's tower, and he had to spend spells, defenders, ice golem, and more just to keep it off his tower.
Wow, what an aggro play out of OJ. And he does take the lead temporarily. He has the ability to cover this. I really thought that Ice Golem was going to go the opposite direction and not walk directly into the Pekka. I'm very confused about what that Ice Golem just did. Mega Knight trying to cover and help a little bit here. And this Mega Knight should be enough to counter the Expo this time around.
I don't know if you saw in the first cycle, but we had a near-perfect example of what Evo Mega Knight can do in the right circumstance. Expo at the edge of the field. Pekka on the tower. Evo Mega Knight's deployed, uppercuts Pekka back into the Expo, and then jumps and hits both Expo and Pekka. Ooh, that was a work of art.
It was beautiful, and now just trying to continue to counter this evolved Pekka, but feeding the Pekka health at the moment. Heal Spirit in to keep Pekka up a little bit more, and whoa, an interesting freeze.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I'm not sure about that either, but I do know that OJ is just 695 health away from winning this. We're in overtime right now, and that Mega Knight's jumping, misses the freeze, takes a hit. Good game comes out of Benny, and OJ takes a game for Team Mega Knight.
Wow, OJ with a chance to stop the bleeding and put Mega on the board one more time.
He says, my heart, oh, my heart, I can't believe I pulled it out. But you did, OJ, but got to keep your head in the game because you need to win one more game in this duel to bring it closer here for Team Mega Knight. So he's up 1 game over. We're going in here in game 2. Let's see what happens. Benny pulls out that Hog. I believe he pulled out Hog in game 2 of his last duel as well. Just loves that Hog deck as an old reliable after game 1, getting the sort of Pekka Mega Knight matchup out of the way.
I think this might be a hard one for OJ here. I don't think, with the Electrosphere, I don't think that Beniju is memeing hard enough to run a 2.6 variation. But it's totally possible. If he is running Inferno Tower as he should be doing, this could end up being a long one, a difficult one for OJ. If he is going full for the content and went 2.6, OJ has a really good chance of shutting this thing down in 2.
OJ is looking, he's grinning. He looks like he seems to recognize the deck. This might be, you're right, a 2.6 variant. I think it's actually kind of a tough matchup here for Benny, just because if this is a, bowler graveyard deck, I don't see too much in Benny's deck that's great against graveyard. I mean, you've got the log, you've got Electro Spirit, sort of, kind of. That's not so great. Maybe an Ice Golem through the middle. I'm not really sure. If I was OJ, I'd be feeling pretty confident in my graveyard right now, but of course we don't really know what the last card in either of their decks are, and we got to see how this Goblin Giant forms. There it is, Inferno Tower. So as you called it, might be a tougher matchup for OJ now.
And I'm also interested to note here, this is the first time since it's happened, since we've had double Evo, that I've seen someone run a single Evo as opposed to double. Benny only running the Evo Skellies.
So he is full memeing in that way. What? But wait, some of these cards must have evolutions, but I guess you're right. None of them.
No, none of them do.
Interesting.
And he's opting to go with the Electro Spirit rather than the Ice Spirit within its evolution stage, which you would normally expect to see here potentially.
Yeah.
And maybe the Electro Spirit covers graveyard better.
That is true.
The Electro Spirit, there's a lot of things that Electro Spirit does cover better, so interesting choice.
Poor Goblin Giant, though, not great against Inferno Tower. One of my favorite ladder decks is Goblin Giant Double Prince, which is, I don't want to hear it, Rich. I don't want to hear it. Goblin Giant backed up by both types of princes. I like it. I have fun. But I'll tell you, the biggest fear for me is a well-placed Inferno Tower with some skeletons in front of it. It's really hard for those sorts of attackers to get through.
Oh my gosh, a double body block and still gives a Hog Rider shot. I think that OJ just cannot imagine how that one actually got through. I'm shocked that Hog actually connected.
Yeah. I mean, Hog Rider has this superpower of always being able to get one attack in, no matter what you put in front of it. It feels like I put a mini P.E.K.K.A in front and still the Hog Rider gets in with a shot. Ooh, nice fireball there, and ooh, whoa, okay. 265 left. We are in overtime, though, and I think that's just a few more spell cycles to put Benny in the win for this game, tying this matchup at 1-1 and forcing us to a game.
Yeah, this is just going to be fireball, log, get it done. GG, well played. Game 3 on its way.
All right.
Let's look at these decks here. All right. So Benny, who played Expo, which is bonkers that he played that, and then played this like 2.8 or 2.7 variation of Hog Cycle, which is, again, I think Benny here is anticipating some great YouTube content by pleasing some of the classic fans. And let's see what he goes with here. Does he go with a classic deck here in Game 3?
I mean, he just got, I think, a pretty good video title right there, right? I beat OJ playing 2.8 Hog. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
All right, good night there on defense. Not an Evo night, though. So we've got Evo Drill, and we've yet to see what OJ's second Evo is. Here we go, though. We've got Royal Recruits, the bane of my existence. Little history. Royal Recruits was the first card that came out after I joined the Clash Royale team. And it originally was 6 guards. It was not like a new troop, it was just 6 guards in a row. But we wanted to make it a little tougher, and so we ended up making it the Royal Recruits that you know today. And this was my fault. It was originally 7 Elixir, and right before release, I was like, I'm not sure this card's good enough. Maybe we put it down to 6 Elixir. And what resulted was the most broken card in Clash Royale's history. Release Royal Recruits were absolutely bananas. They were so strong we didn't know what to do. We put them to 8 Elixir and made them too bad.
Yeah.
Before eventually reverting them back to 7, where they've remained ever since. Royal Recruits, an amazing card, but let me tell you, they're worth 7 Elixir. To 6 Elixir, too good.
Yeah, I remember the emergency nerf that came in pre-CRL because everyone was like, please don't do this, please don't.
Yep.
And then thank you very much for solving that problem. And they continue to be a fascinating card. I have been quite critical of Royal Recruits over the years, but they have been a part of one of my favorite decks overall in the 6 Loon.
Oh.
The Royal Recruits Balloon deck, a very popular deck for a long time. And I've not told the story in a long time, but one of my favorite ever interactions in the Clash Royale scene was years ago during, I think it was the No Tilt World Championship. They were trying to figure out what people were banning. And Jack, the Japanese pro, was in a match, and he was saying that he wanted to ban the 6-man, and nobody knew what he was talking about. And it was, I believe it was Razzer who let us know that it was that he was trying to say Royal Recruits. And after that, we referred to the Royal Recruits as 6-man, and hence the 6-loon deck or things like that. And that's one of my all-time favorite Clash Royale stories.
Yeah, and that is the best way to describe them. just 6 dudes, just beef on either side of the board. I always like them from a design standpoint because they enable dual lane strategies in a way that very few cards can. Royal Recruits backed up by 3 Musketeers. It's expensive, but it allows you to push both lanes so effectively. Benny, though, pulling out Game 3 of this matchup over OJ. Really dominant game there. Let's see the decks here. Okay, well, Benny takes it home. Now, Benny